Greetings, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Michael. It's so great to talk to you all today. We are going to go over some exciting things today. If you don't know me, I've been building technology for a lot of years, and I really like disruptive innovations. And this stuff is all about making movies better workflows. I've worked on over 150 motion pictures, major movies, from Pirates of the Caribbean to The Social Network, Underworld, and beyond. And so it's, I love the big movies like Spider-Man, and I like the little movies like Short Term 12. And all of them can be made better with workflows. And I'm really passionate about workflows. And we're building a new company called Strada, which is about a workflow platform. It's a new way of thinking. And I'm going to show you how it works today. I'm also going to show you some ideas about what we're building going forward. But before I do that, I want to introduce other people that are helping us on this session today. We're coming at you on YouTube Live. We're coming at you also on Zoom. Welcome wherever you are. On the call, I also have my brother, Peter, and co-founder. We've got Margot helping us out. We've got our head of engineering, Austin, as well. Look, we want you to engage. We're here to chat. Margot and Pete and Austin can help in the chat on Zoom, on YouTube, but also I have an iPad here and I can respond to questions. These are more exciting if you ask questions. And I'm talking about questions about our tech, questions about your workflow, questions about where we're going, and questions about the demonstration I'm going to do. I will start showing you Strada, which is in beta right now. And we're doing things that no other product is. It's new. I admit that. We have a long way to go, but we are doing things that no one has done. And our roadmap for this stuff is amazing. My track record for workflow is pretty good. I admit that I've worked on enough movies and done a million dailies in my life or a million rushes. I'm really obsessive about getting this right. And that involves, time code and color science and codec management and file sizes. And in all that experience, we've come up with something really exciting that we're building right now. Okay, here's what we're going to do today. That's the intro. I'll talk a little bit about our vision. We'll go over our current product, and then I'll talk about the 2025 roadmap, which is really exciting. Some of you filmmakers and production people are going to really want to understand our roadmap. We'll show you how to use the beta, because you can start using the beta today if you want, for free. I'll do a full demo. We'll talk about pricing and wrap up. Again, please ask questions throughout the chat. That will be really good. Okay, we are doing this in 2025. This is our third live session. You are Group C. And so if you ever need to respond to us when you met us or how we connected, you are Group C. Welcome, Group C. Happy to have you here. So why did we even start this company? Well, I mentioned I'm really passionate about workflow, but there's something really, really interesting about workflow. And that is creative teams are unable to consistently use the cloud across your entire workflow. I mean, think about it. If you really break down when you use the cloud, you're only using it for a portion of your workflow. I love the cloud. We all love the cloud, but we're not using the cloud all the time, right? And you could ask yourselves, like, well, why is that? Think about this. If this white circle represents all of your media, my guess is you have a copy of all of your footage on a local drive, some sort of RAID or SAN or NAS, right? And why do you like that? Because it's really fast. It's relatively low cost per gigabyte, and you can leave it there for a very long time, because you can have projects in like a closet like this one, and you can keep those drives there for archives, right, in the future. That's why we save things locally. But do you realize, I bet that you only have maybe 10% of your footage actually in a cloud, right? It's only a slice. Give me a thumbs up if that's what's really happening, because the truth is, cloud storage is really great for centralization. It's really great for collaboration, and it's awesome for delivery. I mean, Netflix and YouTube, the cloud's amazing for delivery, and it's great for collaboration. But why do we only put 10% in the cloud? And think about this. If 10% is only in the cloud today, what do you think is going to happen in 2027, 2029, 2031? Are we going to have all of it in the cloud? I don't think so. I don't think that you've had more than 10% in the cloud for the last 5 years, maybe 10 years, some of you. It's a relatively small portion, isn't it? That's a problem, because unless we see a path where all of our cloud is going to allow us to store everything, we're going to have a problem, because you have way too much local storage and only a little bit of cloud, and you're constantly deleting and making copies and sharing. And I think that's a concern. So think about this. This is some really good thought for you all. Let's talk briefly about the evolution of file sharing. When I sort of started out doing this, you could start buying external hard drives in 1995. That's when people started doing that. Why were they, what was the deal with them? Well, if you wanted to share, it was really the only way to move files was like on a hard drive, but it was slow. You had to make a copy. You could only give it to one person at a time. And there was no way to collaborate real time, right? You had to mail that drive, which we used to do sometimes, or walk it to them. We used to call that sneaker net, right? And you would walk a drive. So that's how hard drives sort of started. Then we get to the cloud in 2005, and it sort of comes to today. And then we start to see cloud collaboration. Now, here's what's interesting. Products like Google Docs, like word processing, products like Figma for design, and products like GitHub for code, these are all cloud-based. When you write a document, when you design something, or you're going to write code, you can do the entire job in a cloud. But we're talking about video. And when we're talking about video, which is up to 5,000 times bigger than design files or documents or code bases, then all of a sudden we have these problems. Video files are too big. Video recordings, you have too many of them. Upload speeds are too slow. Storage costs in the cloud are too high. And video software is too varied. Nobody makes videos with one product, one tool. You have 4, 5, 6 tools. This is a recipe for disaster in the cloud. In fact, the reason you have so many cloud subscriptions and you only have a portion of your media in the cloud is because of these problems. And I'll give you a clue. They're not going away. These problems are going to remain prevalent, and it's going to have to change. And that's why we're building Strada. Strada is an operating system that lives at the center of video production. As an operating system, we connect everything together, and it's interoperable, so we can connect to other tools. It's collaborative because you can have unlimited users for free in Strada, and it's universal. It doesn't matter if you're a big movie, a small movie, a TV show, or a corporate video, education, or a church. This is all about collaborating with teams at ultra low costs and being able to have a central place. There is no operating system for video collaboration today in the cloud. There are cloud solutions that might do a slice. Some clouds do, like LucidLink. They are a cloud that helps you edit remotely, or Frame.io, which helps you do review, or Descript, which helps you do transcriptions, but they're all separate products. And Descript doesn't do video editing, and Frame.io doesn't do transcriptions, and LucidLink doesn't do review. And so what we're building is an operating system that does all of that. And we are super cost conscious about the cloud. I know, I'm a cloud expert. I worked at Frame.io and Adobe for 4 years. I helped, I understand all about cloud. I helped build the Camera to Cloud program. And in that story, we want to change. We understand the challenges of cloud. And so we're going to change that. So here are the pillars of Strada today. We have 3 main pillars today. First, we have our core, our platform core. We have our first phase 1 features and phase 2. If you remember, we started Strada only in summer of 2023. So it's only been 18 months. At the time of this recording, we've only been 18 months. And that's starting from like whiteboarding a blank slate, right? So we delivered our platform core and we delivered our phase 1 features, and we're going to deliver phase 2. So what is our platform core? Well, we built bulk actions. We have scalability. We have infrastructure. We have security. We have users. We have that bulk stuff for the platform that you want. But when it comes to our first features that are available today, we've got cloud connections. We've got analysis. We've got translation, exporting, metadata search, and even timecode syncing. So there's really cool phase 1 features. I'll show them in a second. So I want to start by saying, have you ever wanted a single place for your entire team to interact with your media? I'm going to show you a very quick demonstration of Strada, and it kind of goes like this. Here you can see I'm in Strada, and the most important thing for us is being able to allow you to connect to all of your users. And so you can see here when I click on the little picture of the people, I can invite as many people I want to my account. Users are free. We want you not to have to be charged per user or have to decide who comes and who goes. We are unlimited users and they're all free. And that's part of being an operating system, allowing everyone to collaborate. You can control where their access is and what projects they have access to. But most importantly, we want you to be generous in inviting them. And once you do that, you have the ability to build all of your projects. In fact, if you look here, this is something really unique. These are workspaces. So I could have a workspace that's for me that might mix a dozen projects together. Or check this out, I can make a workspace just for a film. See, if I look at my workspace here, Michael's account, I can see here that I've got all these different projects. These are all different projects with different things. But if I switch to the workspace for Rattled, Rattled is a film. And when I open up the Rattled workspace, look at this. I have projects for visual effects, behind the scenes, sharing, my dailies, the composer stuff, the trailer, a case study, and my rough cuts. And so if I look at those, I can go into my dailies project and I can start to see all the footage that's there in dailies, my composer stuff. I can start to see my sample cues that have been put together from my composer and things like that. Or if I go to cuts, I can see all the cuts that I have for every single date that I make a cut. And so this is a way that a workspace can be dedicated to just one project, which is really powerful. And you can invite as many people as you want to that. Or remember, I can switch back to any other workspace. A workspace can be a project, it can be a client, it can be a company, or it could be my workspace where I've mixed everything together. And that's what's so unique about the Strada approach. We allow people to really have interaction with all of their media, searching across all your media, searching across all your projects. And when you see our search, we are the best in class search tool in the world. Nobody can touch us in how good we are at searching for your footage in a platform. It's so cool. Okay, here's the next thing that we want to solve. Have you ever had trouble finding a line of dialogue? So let's say I go back to Strada here and we're in that Rattled project. And you can see in this project, there's 661 takes. So I've got a lot of takes in here. And, you know, when you're looking at footage like this, you're like, okay, where is something? I got to find it. Now, if you're a director or a writer or an editor or a producer, you might remember a line of dialogue, but you don't remember the scene, or you don't want to have to search for which shoot day did we shoot that in. So I could just type a line of dialogue here, like grab a few extra. He says, grab a few extra things. And so I'm having a conversation. It's like, remember that line where they say, grab a few extra things? I just typed that in and look at this. I got 6 takes right here and I can look up the word grab. It'll take me right there. And now I can instantly hear that take.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab a few extra things.
That quick, I found it. If I wanted to see an alternate take, oh, was it take 3? Well, let's see if it was, or here's take 1. Let's go to that one and see that one as well, right?
Yeah, she just needs me to grab.
Right, and I can see another take, right? And so you can see how fast we can go through the various takes. Here's 14 take 6, and we can see right there, one more time, we can take us right to the line and be able to see our results. You know, you can see the transcript right there. So we're searching the dialogue and getting there super quickly, really, really easily. That's a really powerful way to search for any line of dialogue. And remember, there were 600 takes here, and by searching for that line, it took me right there. So very powerful. But the power of our transcription is so good. We are probably in the top transcription product in the world for a couple of reasons. One, it's so cheap. Strada does it very inexpensively. So you can do a ton of transcriptions way less expensive. 2, we're over 95, 98% accurate. Some people say 99% accurate. 3, we don't just understand what's spoken, we understand what's heard. Check this out. If I search for the word screaming, I'm not looking for the word screaming. I'm looking for the sound of screaming. So Strada is able to understand that someone is actually screaming, which isn't a word, but a emotion, right? An action. And you can see here, she's actually screaming in this take and crying. And these are not words that are said. They're emotions that are captured audibly, which is a really unique way to think about it. I could also search for something like music. And if I look for music, Strada is able to understand like what is a song. And if we understand what's a song, we can search for music being spoken or something like that. So if I type music, we can see there's actually music being played here. And that's a way that things are happening. So very, very cool to see that we can find that material here as well. So very, very, very powerful way to be searching for things like music and stuff like that. Okay, next one is, have you ever had trouble finding a video clip? So what if you don't have sound and you have to search for information, but you only have it in a video file? Well, check this out. In this project, I have thousands of takes. You can see here, there's over 3,000 assets in this. So this is a huge amount of footage. If I make it really small, you'll see the amount of footage here is just amazing. And this is all nature footage. So if I wanted to search for something like, a turtle, I could search for like an animal. And so it'll start finding all the turtles here. And you can see it's finding all the turtles. You can see it's all growing right there. I'll make that a little bigger. You can kind of see all of that stuff. Or I could search for something like a grassland. But here's what's cool. Strada can start to do compound searches. So if I go to grassland, we can see all this grassland stuff. Here's some, grassland material. We could see that coming in. And then I could say, let's search for grassland with a bird. And now it'll compound together grassland and bird. And we could see that. And then I could add a giraffe. And now with that, I'm able to see giraffes with grasslands and birds all together. So a very, very unique way to do that. Okay, what's the next one here? Have you ever, let's see, the next one is, have you ever had an interview that was recorded in a different language? This is where workflows halt. When you are doing a documentary or even interview and someone's in a different language, the workflow just like stops, right? It's really, really difficult. So how do we solve that problem? Well, Strada is very unique in that it's actually able to support more than 100 languages. Look at all these languages here. There's all these languages that we support, and we can transcribe all of them about 5 times faster than real time. And so if I click on this transcription here, let's see here. Whoop, let me refresh. If we look at this transcription, I can search for the word painting. But if you listen to her speak, let's listen to her voice.
后来开始学习油画，现在我可以自己独立的。
So here we have the Mandarin. She's actually speaking Mandarin here, but I have the English translation. So I can see this in either English or Mandarin, and I can switch between them, and I can put up my closed captions, and now I can turn off the multicam, and I can listen to the transcript playback.
抽象画，画水彩画。
So this is a really, really fast and easy way, and it's automatic, and you can do it in bulk, meaning Strada is one of the only products that you can send it 500 assets and transcribe 500 assets all at once. There are not products that are designed to do that. Because I'm passionate about workflow, I know you have subscription tools. We have to upload one asset at a time, transcribe it, and then bring that asset down. One asset, transcribe it, bring it down. That's not workflow. That's a mess. That's slow. That's clunky. But in Strada, you can select 500 clips and transcribe them all. And you can marry together these 2 different languages at the same time, which is super powerful. Here's another issue. Have you ever wanted to watch multicam dailies? You might have noticed that I'm showing a lot of multicam stuff. And check this out. Strada is one of the only, it's actually the only product in the world that can automatically sync in the cloud dual system audio and video. If you look here, I have A camera, B camera, and an audio file. And for those of you that are really good on production, notice here, the slate says 2F take 2. We have the audio file as 2 Frank take 2. When we sync them together in Strada, which is called a stack, notice that the file name is now 2 Frank 02. So if I wanted to search for 2 Frank, I can find all the takes that are 2 Frank because it's already labeled. This is all 100% automatic. If your audio files come in with the clip name and you stack them, you can see I have A and B cam and audio. I automatically get the name automatically labeled, and I get the ability to search the actual slate. Plus, Strada can read, so it can read the slate if you write it down as well. So very, very powerful. You can see if I look at the text metadata in Strada and I come down here, you can see that it understands 2 Frank, and it knows everything that's going on, the date, the time, the scene, the person's on the slate. It can read all that information, and it understands that this is actually a slate, and it's marked all that in this metadata here. There's no product in the world that's giving you that power of time code syncing, and we can watch it in multicam. So if I search for the word countryside, it'll take me right to the moment where she says, no, I lived upstate, the countryside.
No, I lived upstate, countryside.
I can find the language, I can search for a take, and I can watch both angles at the same time, or I can hide them. I could just watch the B camera, or I could turn B camera off and just watch the A camera, or I can watch them together. They're not being, deleted or anything like that. They're not being composited or rendered. It's all being done on the fly. It's super powerful. And then the last one here, have you ever wanted to have your media automatically logged for you? Well, how are we so good at search? We are able to analyze these clips. And so I can right click and hit analyze. And when I do that, I can do face detection, I can do item detection, I can do text detection, and there's more and more coming. When that's done, I could go and I could hit export. If I hit export, I can export the metadata to Final Cut, Resolve, Avid, Premiere. And so watch this. If I go to Resolve, here's a whole bunch of clips in Resolve. I know this is going to be small, but check this out. When I look at the keyword here, you can see in the keyword, look at all the metadata. All of this metadata was logged automatically. I didn't do anything. This alone will save you hours and hours. So if I go to here and I want to search, if I search for the person Beck, the character Beck, it'll find Beck, but I could also say Beck by the lake, and then I could say her backpacking. And now, check this out. I have footage playing back of the character Beck backpacking by the lake. That is all done in Resolve, but it's all auto-logged by Strada. Strada did all that logging for us and is able to show us everything that we are trying to do here. So very, very powerful, very fast. Okay, Jeff asks, can a stack be created from sources that do not have matching time code? Jeff, the answer is yes. You can stack things that do not have time code that not match. So I'll show you an example. See these two clips? They are not the same take. But if I were to choose stack by first frame, it will now stack them together. So you can actually do like, you're sort of like forcing a stack in a way. And it's going to stack by the first frame. Very soon we will, let's watch that clip now. So now this doesn't make sense, but there, Jeff, I just stacked those two assets. You can see that quickly. I'm now watching two takes, but they stack by first frame. Very soon, you'll be able to slip them manually. That will be the next thing that's coming soon. But today, you can stack by time code, or as I showed here, you can stack by first frame. John asks, I know your experience is from Hollywood. What are you building? Are you building for just big budget productions? Absolutely not. John, I'm a huge believer, and if people know me, I'm a big supporter of church videos and videos for nonfiction, education, corporate videos, testimonials, all that stuff. So it's not about Hollywood. I'm building a solution that is designed for teams of mainly 2 or more. If you're a solopreneur, you're fine. You edit, you import, you transcode, you color, that's fine. But if you have a team of 2, you got to pay for cloud services. If you have a team of 4 or 6 or 8, or it changes in sizes, that's when you're paying a lot and you're not using it every day. That's what we're going to solve. It's going to be centralized. So everything's together. You can have unlimited users. So it's very collaborative. We're going to do these automations like transcribe, analyze, sync, and things like that, and share. And then we're going to make it unlimited users so you can collaborate with as many people as you want. And then we're building these interconnections with your other tools like Resolve and Premiere and Final Cut. So it's really important that we're doing that. This is for everyone. Okay, you remember I just went over sort of the basic platform core and the features of phase 1, but I want to show you features of phase 2. This is cool. I'm going to show you what we're building for 2025, and this is what it's about. See, in 2025, our goal starts like this. We are actually building local storage connect. Now, today, Strada can only connect to clouds. It connects to Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive. That's important because you have, remember the pie chart, 10% of your footage is probably in Frame.io, Dropbox, or Google Drive. So we allow you to connect to that. The reason that's important for you is because we're not charging for storage. You already pay for that. Most cloud companies, as soon as they start up, they want to charge you for more storage, and you have to make more copies and decide how many terabytes do I buy? Not with Strada. We already connect to the storage you have. That's number one. But what we're building right now, and the engineering team is right out there, actually. Funny story, we all work in my house. I'm in North Hollywood, California, and our whole team works here in our house. We're building Strada together at my dining room table. It's how we save money. But what we're building right now is local storage. So you can connect a RAID or a SAN or a NAS right into your footage, into Strada, and then you can read it off that. But here's what we're building. That RAID allows you to send it to Strada, and Strada will move the files visually to your collaborators. We are not making the files upload. We're just playing them back, which means a file on a hard drive can be viewed by a collaborator remotely without being uploaded to the cloud. In other words, you can have people do collaborative review and they're going to hit play in Strada, but the file is on your hard drive in your office or your home. You could even eventually later this year, you'll be on your phone and you can browse through your hard drive at home and watch files on your phone that are on a hard drive at home. And it'll just use your home internet to move the video assets and see them. It's really cool tech. There's nobody doing stuff like this. That will allow us then we'll move our way to editing so that you could start editing remotely, but the files are not in a cloud. They're on a hard drive. This means you can be your own cloud, right? Strada's also building a little mini editor. We're building a mini editor. It's about 80% done. We got a little bit ways to go, but we're giving you the ability to build playlists. For if you're a producer or a story editor, or you just want to do quick edits for reference or sections of an interview, for example, Strada will give you a timeline to do that. And then we will continue adding AI automations like color correction, more syncing technology, audio level balancing, and things like that, slate detection, stuff like that. Here's a little snapshot of the timeline we're building. This is about 80% done, but here you're able to use our amazing search, and then you can trim the clips with the search, because if you search for something, it knows how long that portion is, and then you put it in Strada's timeline, and then you can make playlists and share them. And all of this will be able to be done without having footage in the cloud. You'll have cloud experience, but no cloud costs. Doesn't that sound great? That's what we're building. It's totally revolutionary, totally new, and we want to encourage you to get in early. We need your feedback. We need you to help us get through this beta, and we need professionals like you to kind of be part of this new movement of being able to have cloud capabilities without cloud costs. Okay, so if you want to join the beta, I want to give you some insight on how you can get in the beta. Some of you might already be in the beta. Others of you are thinking about it. So when you're in the beta, you just sign up at strada.tech. It's free, and you get 14-day free trial of Strada. And we give you a bunch of hours, several hours of analytics and transcription included. So you can connect the cloud, you can make a project, and you can start transcribing and analyzing. If you're having trouble with the beta, feel free to refresh the page. That's one way to clear little bugs. Be patient. We don't yet have a progress bar. So when you run 500 transcriptions, you don't always know when they're done. That's normal. That kind of happens. We're working on that. I recommend logging in, logging in daily. That kind of helps clear your cache. We are pushing new builds all the time. So there's new buttons, there's new features, there's bug fixes getting deployed all the time. So you got to stay with the program because a lot's happening fast. And then we recommend using Chrome. You can use Safari. Sometimes I use Safari, but Chrome seems to be the most stable. So we recommend that. Now, we want to capture your feedback. It's imperative that we build this with the community. I've got a lot of movie experience and workflow experience, but I don't know everything. And so I need insight from you. So we want to invite you to join our Discord. If you're on the Zoom, you can actually get an invite to the Discord now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can email us at info@strada.tech or beta@strada.tech and just ask for how you get on the Discord, and we'll send you an invite to the Discord server, and then you can join. And so we love to invite you to give your feedback, read about our feature releases, have conversations, and then provide your tech support needs. So that's what we're there. Now, what is not supported today? Strada does not do stills or documents. Today, we do audio and video. And so you can focus on audio and video files. Now, manual tagging, remember I showed you the automatic tagging. I'll show it even more in a moment. Manual tagging is very close. It's not finished, but it's very close. It's in alpha. It'll be pushed to the beta very soon. And the progress bar, it's like in alpha. We don't really have a finished progress bar. There's some bugs in it, but it's on the list. It's coming. So we're trying to get that out. If you want to follow along, I'm about to do a demo from scratch. I'm going to bring in files from scratch and show you how to analyze and transcribe and build a project. If you want the same footage, if you're in Zoom, there's a link in the chat and you can download the same footage. You're welcome to use this and follow along Bob Ross style, and that is up to you. If you want this footage and you're on YouTube, just send an email to beta@strada.tech and we'll send you a link. And we'll be happy to give you this footage to demo. By the way, this recording will be on YouTube, so anybody can watch it in the future. And then if you want support, we have a wiki, and you can go to that to get support. And there's a link in the Zoom, but also there's a secret up here in the upper right of Strada. There's a little question mark. I think we're going to change that icon to like a graduation cap. But if I click on that little guy, it will actually launch a tutorial panel and all these different things. Like if I wanted to learn how to create bins, I can click on that. If I wanted to learn how to export to Premiere Pro, I can click on that. And so you can go through and there's just this little training tutorial of all the little things that we embedded in the app. Again, that's up in the upper right in the little question mark, and that is all built into the app. Okay, with that, I want to show you a demo now, except I want the demo to be from scratch. So I'm going to click on my little name icon, and that's going to bring me to my account settings here. And this is where I'm going to start, where you would start and not have any projects here. You probably don't have any projects. I have a whole bunch, but yours would be pretty blank. But on the right, this is where you can add a cloud. So if I click add a cloud, today, remember, you can add Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive. What's cool about that is you already pay for these services. There's no fee, zero cost for you to connect these products into Strada and play back the assets, analyze, transcribe. If you have Frame.io, you don't have transcription. You don't have timecode syncing. You don't have multicam. But if you connect Strada to your Frame.io account, you get all of those. Like it's obvious. And you get these analytics. Dropbox, you get all this cool transcription. Google Drive, they don't have transcription and translation and timecode syncing and search like that. They don't have that. So By adding Strada, you just get all those features and it doesn't cost you anymore to connect to these clouds, which is really great. Once you connect the cloud, remember, you can start inviting people. So if I click on people, I can add people. And if I want to add a person, I can add them to the list. And I can also go to their permissions and I could make them members, admins, or owners. There's one owner. An admin can invite other people. A member can be brought to a project, but they can't make new projects and invite new people. So you can help with that. Jeff asks, is there any chance that Strada will be enabled as a Final Cut Pro extension? Jeff, someday the answer is yes. Absolutely. We're so new. We don't have enough time yet to build all the panel integrations with editing systems, but we love them and we will get to that. But today we're focusing on our experience is allow you to export an XML and import that to Final Cut. I know that's not as good, but that's what we have today. And eventually we'll have a panel to build. Okay, so now I'm going to make a new project. So when I click new project, I'm going to call this January 14th. Now, this is a cool hack for some of you. When you make a project, you can set the project to automatically transcribe or analyze for you. So if I knew I was doing a project and I wanted everything transcribed, I would turn on, I could choose the source language, and I could decide how the audio is most likely to come in and apply that. This is if you want everything transcribed as you open the project and put a file in it. I'm going to manually do it because sometimes just choosing manually might be better. But if you want to analyze, or you could analyze too. If you want to analyze everything, you could do that automatically. But I'm going to do this manually. So I've made a new project called January 14th. And when I hit create project, you can see up here, January 14th is a project. But look at this. I have these other projects here. And one thing that's nice about Strada as a platform is you can quickly search between all your projects. You can see how fast I can switch between my projects, and I can even change the orientation. So if I wanted to rearrange these, I have the ability to do that. So if I want to bring January 7th over here, I can control my projects and I can quickly switch between the projects that I'm working on. It's fast, it's easy. Remember, this is how some people will mix all their projects into one workspace. But if you remember at the beginning, I could have a completely different workspace, switch to that workspace, and that workspace can be just for one project. And then I can have different projects within that that are all related to that. So I'm going to go back to my main workspace here. We're back on January 7th. And if we look at January 7th, January 14th. Sorry, that was last week. I don't need January 7th. January 14th. I'm going to make 3 bins. I'm going to call this bin Harlow. I'm going to call this bin Rattled. And I'm going to call this bin Transcription. So now I've got 3 bins. I could also change the order of these so I can switch these around if I want. And now I want to bring in files from my cloud into Strada. So at the bottom, I have this button that says Add Source Media. So when I lift that up, I can actually see, make this a little bigger, I can actually see my Google Drive, my Dropbox, and my Frame.io account. I've connected all 3 clouds, and I can freely move through any of these clouds and look at the assets in them. I'm going to go to Strada, Frame.io. This is literally my Frame.io account. I am literally browsing my Frame.io account within Strada, and we're going to go to today's date, January 14th. And you can see here, I have a folder called Harlow. This media has never been brought in before, so I'm going to bring it into the Harlow bin. Now I'm going to go to Rattled. I'll go to the Rattled. I will bring this media into the Rattled bin, and then I will go to the transcription tool, and I will bring this media into the transcription. Now I can close my import drawer for adding my source media, and now my bins are populated. Now, Strada does not actually import anything. We're just reading it from the source. We don't actually move your media. You can't delete it in Strada. This platform is designed to be interoperable. So we're proving our passion for interoperability. You try to find a product that you can connect and mix files from Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive together. You can't do that, but I can. I can click on the All Media tab here, And look at this. It's going to show all the footage that I just imported, and all that footage I imported is living across 3 different drives. Like there's actually 3 different drives here, which is really, really cool to see. Hey, Austin, check that out. The all media didn't actually show up here, which is interesting. It might still be, I don't know. You'd have to tell me, Austin, why it didn't show up in all media. That's interesting.
Just needs a refresh.
It just needs a refresh. Oh, okay. So remember, one of the things is refresh your pages, and there it is. Okay. So I refreshed, and now I got to see all the media. So you can see I'm mixing together all of these clouds together, and I can see that in all media, or I can see them separate. So it's really powerful. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off a transcription in bulk. I'm going to do this to 3 files. I could do this to 300 files. It doesn't matter. It's going to run that. And if I look at the transcription panel, when I click on an asset, you'll see an animation here that shows that the transcription's going. I'm going to do that with rattled, and we will transcribe this. But on the rattled, I'm also going to right click and say analyze. I want to analyze this footage. Now, what's coming very soon is face detection. I have that in alpha. If you really, really, really want it, it's coming very, very soon. So just be patient. I can do an item detection, or I could do text detection. So I could read slates and things like that. I'm going to run that analysis. And then with this one, if you remember, this is in Chinese. So if we listen, this is going to be the Chinese. So I'm going to switch this to Chinese, but I'm going to turn English on. And what that means is it's going to translate. Whoop, it didn't kick that off. So that's interesting. Let's see here. Let's try that again. Chinese, translate, and run transcription. So that one, I don't know. That one gave me an error. So let me just try it one more time. Let's log that, Austin. I don't know what that was, but it did not kick off when I brought it into the right panel for some reason, even after a refresh. So still little things we're working on, but that's why we need your help. Okay, so now I'm going to do my favorite thing in Strada, which I think Jeff was asking about earlier in the session today, which is how to sync. Now, if you notice here, I have some A camera files, some B camera files, and then these audio files. Well, Strada, they're all mixed together here. But if I just say sync by timecode, as long as you jammed all these materials together by timecode, Strada is the only product in the world that will take that footage and automatically sync it together. And now check this out. I've got A camera, B camera, and the audio, 2 Frank take 4, 2 Frank take 4, and I can search by the word cheers and take us right there. I think there was a second cheers here. Yeah. So now check this out. I'm going to hit play.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Okay. So what we just did, it went by fast, but we imported assets from Frame.io into Strada. We then transcribed them in bulk. We then synced them together, and then we searched for a line of dialogue and brought us there in the time-coded sync. All that happened just in front of you in the last few seconds. If you missed it, rewind, watch it again. It's that fast. And you can do this to like 100 takes. It's so fast. It's everybody has access to this now. Everybody can do that. Everybody can do that and search and share. I'm going to do the same thing with Rattle. Now look at this. Rattle only has 2 audio files, but I have what is that? 7 video files. So if I, because the time code is jammed correctly, if I hit sync by time code, it will find which clips are supposed to have audio and which clips do not. So I can see this file does not have any audio. So it's not supposed to. So we have the ability to do that. So very, very cool. That we can do that. So did this go? I thought I set this to go. So this is a very, very cool way that we can do that. Now, if we go to the transcription, let me stack these together and we'll look at the transcription. You can see here, okay, so this one came out with the Mandarin. So we see the Mandarin transcription right there. But now what we want to do is we want to we want to add another, I want to see it in English. So if I choose Chinese, I turn English on and I hit run transcription, it's going to run a new transcription. And now we should see EN. So now it's running an English transcription next to the Mandarin transcription. And we're going to get them together. While that's going, what I could do is I could export this. So let me go back here and export an SRT. So here you can see, let me make this a little bigger. Here is the transcription in Mandarin from this interview. And in a few seconds, it shouldn't take much longer. This is such a fast thing. There it is. That quickly, we've got the actual finished translation. So now I click on English. I'm going to hit export, and there it is. I think it's starting right now. So you can see I can switch between both of these and see the English or the Mandarin at the same time. So if I open this file and I make this a little bigger, now you can see I've got English and Mandarin next to each other that quickly. And again, this can be done in bulk. I could do this to a dozen files. If I go to Harlow as the reference and I say export SRTs, there are 3 audio files embedded in here, right? And check this out. Now I've got a folder here and I've got my 3 SRTs and they're named the audio file. And I did that in bulk right there. So very, very fast, very easy way that you could see these files. So this is a very bulk friendly file because that's what workflow is. You have to be able to do a lot in great ways. I see Stephen Cohen on here. Welcome, Stephen. Thanks for coming. Really good to see you. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning. I hope you like these features we're putting together. We're getting somewhere. I think you were on a long time ago when we were really early. So appreciate you checking into the progress. Okay. So now that we've been able to do all that, the last thing comes down to our ability to search these things. And this is where we're generating analysis because I was able to set analysis, but that's basically how you search for actions, items, locations. And there's so many cool things that you can search for. Even words. Look at this. If I search for the word rat poison in this project, it's going to not only look for when someone says it, because in this case, you can see the word poison is spoken. You can see she says rat poison here, right? And so that's spoken there. Or I can actually start looking for when it's actually, when you actually can like see it like typed, like when it's on an actual box. So look at this. Here, if I look at the text, I'll make this a little bit bigger. This is really cool stuff. If you see here, whoops, if you see here, rat poison is on screen for 14 seconds. You can see right there, it says rat poison. And if I follow to the right, see these blue dots? That tells us where the rat poison is visible. This is text reading. So check this out. Right here, I know in the shot, it doesn't say that. It's blank. But if I click right here, what do you know? Rat poison. What's going to happen right here? It's going to be gone, right? Yes. Okay. And if I hit play from there, watch what happens. They bring it in. Now Strada knows it says rat poison. And what's going to happen in 3, 2, 1? They're going to take it away, right? And then what are we going to guess is going to happen? 3, 2, 1. They put it back. See, we can see that because Strada knows when something's happening. It knows even what is written and spoken. So you can search even by words and things like that. Stephen asks, can an SRT file be sent as an overlay to the finished product? Yes. These are proper captions. We give you VTT or SRT, and then those can be done as overlays. Absolutely. Or you can overlay them here in Strada. So as people are talking, this is actually like the AD and the director. So you see the transcription is actually people speaking, right? Behind the scenes. This isn't lines of dialogue, but you can see that's the transcription.
Seth, you good?
There you go. So you can hear, you can see the transcriptions here, and you can export them as SRT or VTT. Can you burn them in? You can't burn them in today. Today, we don't burn them in. Strada is not yet designed to be a delivery product. We're not like doing the final outputs yet. You'll probably, do that in some other product, but someday we will add burn-ins. Actually, it's something we probably will do sooner than later, but we'll be able to burn in on an export. Yes. Jeff asks, can the download destination be set when invoking the translation or other download tasks? This downloading is probably going to go through your browser, and it's where you set your browser to download to. So you can set your target download on your web browser to anything in the preferences of your browser, right? So in your browser preferences, you can set where things are downloaded, right? So you could change it right here in Chrome to like a RAID or a folder or a directory. That would be fine, Jeff. And then it would download there. So that's a browser setting to get these downloads to decide where they actually go, including even files. If you want to download an asset, Strada will let you download assets out of your cloud. So it could be in Frame.io, but you can see it in Strada and download it. So you could do that as well. Okay. As we wrap up, folks, I just wanted to ask you, and I'm asking you to be really, really honest. Please be honest. Based on what you saw today, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 you think Strada is able to do in terms of value? Tell us, be honest. 2, 3s, 6s, 7s, whatever you feel is honest. We're trying to build a platform here that centralizes all of your team and all of your media and all of your projects. Remember, we're connecting clouds in a central space. You can globally search now all those clouds, and we're adding RAIDs and SANs and NASs very, very soon. Hopefully we'll see you at NAB. If you're going to the, there's an HPA Tech Retreat, which some of you should check it out. It's amazing. If you went to the HPA Tech Retreat in Palm Springs, it's insane. You'll learn a ton. But some of you go to NAB, and we'll be showing our ability to connect to RAIDs and drives, and then sharing that and analyzing that. But you understand, we're building a platform here of centralized collaboration where all your media is in one place. You build projects in the cloud, right? You're building these projects to share and sort, and you're seeing the transcription, you're seeing the analytics, the timeline's coming, the editing's coming, all of that is in flight. Okay, so how much does this thing cost? Well, we're new, and when you're new, your pricing is inexpensive. Let's be honest. So today, you can have a free plan, which allows you to do 3 hours of transcriptions and analytics per month for free. And you're able to do that. But you can only connect one cloud, and you can only have like 2 projects. You don't get unlimited projects with the free plan. Once you go to $20 a month, you get 20 hours of analytics or transcriptions or translations. You get unlimited projects, unlimited users, and you can really fill up that space. If you go to $60 a month, you get 72 hours of analytics and transcriptions. This is so good for documentaries and people that are doing a lot of analytics and transcriptions. And again, you still have unlimited projects, unlimited users. If for some reason you need a little bit of extra transcription or analytics per month, it's really simple. It's $1. $1 US gets you a whole hour. So if you have 10 new interviews that are all an hour long, you can get $10. We'll get you 10 hours of transcriptions. And there's something new coming to transcriptions. I can't wait to show you. Transcription summary. So you'll be able to take a transcription. It's very close. We're very close. I hope within 1 to 2 weeks. And you can just read a 300-word summary of a transcription. Plus, you can generate new summaries, and you can choose to have them in bullet point form or paragraph form or both. So you can kind of decide, how do you want to understand that? Imagine talking to a producer and having a whole bunch of interviews and being able just to paste an email and have the summaries of all of those interviews done for you. And it can be done in bulk. It's awesome. It's so different. This is the type of things that inspire me to build a better workflow. And I just think about all those tasks that we just do again and again and again. And Strada is designed to make all those tasks happen in one place with all of your collaborators and to do them in bulk, which is really, really, really hard, but really cool. That date is wrong. Let me fix that just live because I want that to be right. My bad. There we go. This is the people on the call. We are super excited that you could join us today. If you felt there was value in this, let us know. This was an hour. It went by fast. Camilo asks, do the unused hours of transcription roll off from month to month? Only on the annual plan. So Camilo, if you have a monthly plan, no, it's just 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours. But if you have the annual plan, you can roll those over month to month because you get 12 months of transcriptions and analytics and translations. So and you save more money by doing the full annual plan. And if you go to strada.tech and you click on the pricing, you're able to do that, and you can sign up and try that out. So yeah, you can pay annually and get that. So that's a really cool way to do that. Jeff asks, can assets be moved from bin to bin or another project after they've been uploaded and analyzed? Of course they can, Jeff. And you can do that. And you don't have to reanalyze them again, right? Of course, you don't have to reanalyze them. So if I look at, let's see here, if I grab these files from a totally different project, so I'll go to a totally different project, check this out. And I'm going to look for push-ups. I know that this guy, look, there's a couple of shots where a guy does push-ups here, and you can see push-ups is discovered here. Let me do that one more time. So we can see our labels here, push-ups, and I think he's doing them right around here. There he is. So there's push-ups there, right? We see the guy doing push-ups. And then I think this one has push-ups as well. This is a really good real-world example. Where's the push-ups? He does them here. So we can see we found these two clips where there's push-ups. Notice how fast I found those clips. I could take these and copy them, and there's a little copy clipboard, and I can see these are two there. And I could go to our January 14th, say push-ups in here, and then I can paste them. So I'm now moving the assets into this project. So they went from this project where they were into this project, and I made a bin, and now I can share out this bin, and now I've made a push-ups bin, right? If that's what I needed to do. And so sometimes when I'm using a workspace that's for a big project, I might have a project just called shared or shared to the director. And then everything that goes into those bins is just things I share to the director, and it's all copy paste. There's not actually a duplicate being made, right? It's not a real copy, something like that. So that's a really good example, Jeff. Camilo says, any planned dates for the release of the local features? So Camilo, we will be showing hopefully a prototype in February. And then NAB, which is April, we will have the product in a place that we can show it. So we'll know the release dates probably in April. If things are really great, we'll give it to you in April. If things are not, we will show it to you in April, but we need your feedback. So Camilo, we need you to get into the beta. We need you to start using the project, and we need you to give feedback. Join the Discord so that we can start to get that feedback from you so that we're building it correctly. Stephen Cohen, you're not moving files, only pointer locations to the bin. Absolutely. Files do not actually move. None of these files are here. These files are in Dropbox, and they just play back as if they're here, but they're not actually in Strada. They're in Dropbox or Frame.io or wherever. Yeah. So that we just these aren't real files here. They're not copies or anything like that. That's why it costs nothing for us to play them back and give them to you and have all these users access them. It's really different. It's really cool. So you got to be thinking about teams. I want you all, your homework is to get on the beta, try getting into the beta, and start building projects and start building teams of people so that you start learning how to collaborate here. Transcribe everything. Searching language is so valuable. Transcribe everything. Then learn to analyze certain things. Facial recognition is right around the corner, and you're going to love it. It saves so much time that I can start, watch this. I can go in here and I could search for the character Rose, and it'll find all the times Rose appears. There she is. If I search for the character Hansel, it'll find him every time he appears, and there he is, right? And then if I want to look for Flo, I can find her, and I could say Flo in the kitchen, and it'll find when Flo is in the kitchen, right? And so it's like I can combine this all together. This is the power of the best search tool but you got to think about it in collaborative teams. And then again, if you want to do a workspace, each workspace here is a $20 a month account. So your workspaces give you unlimited projects, unlimited footage, unlimited users, but each workspace is $20 a month. So you may want to have a workspace for this film and that film, or this client and that client, and then you can easily control who has access to what, but you can go across them. So it's really powerful. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Again, if this was valuable, please let us know. Please tell a friend. Tell other people to sign up and try it or come to our sessions. We do these every Tuesday at 9 o'clock Pacific, and we love to have more people join us and learn about this whole new way of cloud working. Until then, I hope to have a chance to see you all on